wasn't cursing earlier.
You were.
I was?
You literally just said something before I hit the button.
Oh.
So, yes, that's why I asked.
I do it a lot.
I know. It's almost like it's subconscious for you.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Probably should get that looked at.
Probably so. So, yeah, we should be on the air now.
Cool.
What's up, Internet World with the News 19 Nerds? I'm Michael.
Gang. I'm Leroy.
All right. So we're back for another Saturday edition of Press Play here, talking about a couple different topics, talking about the head of Discovery. I don't know his name. You know his name?
The head of Discovery.
Yeah, he was like the head of Discovery and when they joined together.
Oh, from the Variety article.
Yes.
I
can't think of his name.
I don't know. I thought you were going to start with PlayStation because I was pulling up the...
No, I'm pulling all this stuff together. I'm saying we're talking about Discovery's plans for Warner Brothers and how they want to revamp the universe and I guess make money. You know, everybody likes to make money. And we're also talking about PlayStation Plus. The last time we were on the air, we talked about...
What we wanted.
What we wanted from PlayStation Plus.
What we speculated.
What we hoped would be in there.
What we wanted from...
Those things are not in... Well, some of them are. Because you wanted some portable stuff in there. It's in there.
I wanted a specific portable thing in there.
Oh, is Vita not in there? No.
I mean,
it's
you
not.
you tell me.
I don't know. I don't know if it is or not.
It's not.
So, well, there we go then. So we'll talk about that. So I guess we're kind of filling time as we let more and more people get into the chat. What's been going on with you this week?
That's a loaded question, sir.
I mean, you're on air, sir.
That hasn't stopped me
You have the little kids watching.
That hasn't stopped me before.
You have all the young little friends of the shows.
I have a little friend of the show that hasn't stopped me.
Fair enough.
For a little person who has never watched wrestling, he seems very good at giving me the people's elbow.
That's fantastic. I love that.
He literally comes off the top rope and just like off the couch and just smashes into me.
Nice.
And I'm like, why are you only like this with me?
I'm Max Brian B. What's up? How are y'all?
Yeah,
We're just shooting it as it were until we get more and more people in the chat.
Yeah, he's a little wild.
Okay. I guess some behind the scenes stuff for us here in Columbia. We had a little bit of breaking news with the mall shooting.
Let's not talk about that.
Okay, we don't want to talk about it.
Let's move on.
Okay. I mean, nobody was hurt. Well, nobody died. I apologize. Nobody died. Nobody died, so that was cool. All things considered. But yeah, I mean, that kind of is not the way you want to start your weekend. Not the way you want to start your Easter weekend.
I ain't even supposed to be here today.
You were supposed to be here today.
I wasn't. I feel like Dante from Clerks.
All right, fair
It's
enough.
my day off.
All right.
I feel like this is Black Clerks right now.
Clerks.
Blurks.
I knew you were going to do a portmanteau of that. I love it. Edward Sanchez Productions. Hello. So yeah, we
Or Clerks.
Maybe Clerks.
Clerks.
I like that.
Clerks and Blurks.
Where you want to start?
So I told you, start with PlayStation.
I was saying that for the audience. We didn't say that on air. That was part of the bit of where we're doing whatever. You don't have to yell at me. I know you're going through a lot, but that ain't my fault.
Sir, you literally asked me before we started this where we could start.
Right, but now
And
that
I
we're
said-
on air, I'm asking again.
It hadn't changed.
Right, but the audience hadn't been.
You
part
could
of
have
the
just started and
conversation.
said PlayStation.
That's not how we work.
Yeah, it is.
It's never how we work.
It is. It's like a rundown. You don't say where we're going to start when you start the show.
Sometimes I do.
No, we don't.
I've seen how y'all do stuff.
We talking News 19 or we talking Press Play? Because those are two different things.
I thought I was talking about News 19. No one time about Press Play.
Well, Press Play is bad on purpose.
All right, fair enough. All right, anyway, so we're talking about PlayStation Plus. We finally got the details. You said you pulled them up?
On my phone?
Okay, then run me through the details.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, I don't have that capability.
I missed
All right. Plus,
you. You have internet. You do have that capability.
oh yeah.
What are you talking about?
I probably shouldn't drink at work.
You pulled the keyboard down. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
They go drug test me after they watch this, and I'm gonna be stone sober. And they be like, he's like this without any.
That's just how he is.
That's just how he is. Okay, so here's the PlayStation Plus premium details. Last time we were on, we speculated. Here's the benefits. Provides all benefits from essential and extra tiers. Adds up to 340 additional games. There's an asterisk next to that. PS3 games available via cloud streaming. A catalog of beloved classic games available in both streaming and download options from the original PlayStation, PS2, and PSP generations. Notice what it doesn't say. Offers cloud streaming access for the original PlayStation, PS2, PSP, and PS4 games offered in the extra and premium tiers in markets where PlayStation Now is currently available.
That's for outside of America.
Hold on.
That
Has,
is.
hold on, let me get there. That has a double asterisk. PlayStation Now is currently available. Customers can stream games using PS4 and PS5 consoles and PC. Triple asterisk. Time-limited game trials will also be offered in this tier, so customers can try select games before they buy. Here we go. Price. Asterisk. United States, $17.99 monthly, $49.99 quarterly, $119.99 yearly. Europe,
We don't care.
Wow, sir. Wow.
Unless John Donuts comes in here and says
Wow.
something, we don't care. I stand by that.
David Cooper's in Guam.
That's not Europe.
I didn't get through all of them. There's 4 different
I
places.
don't think the other one's up there.
Wow, sir. That's
Is
just,
it there?
It might be covered under Japan.
It's not. I already know it's not. That's
Right.
what I'm saying.
Here's one of the asterisks. PlayStation Plus Deluxe, select markets. For markets without cloud streaming, PlayStation Plus Deluxe will be offered at a lower price compared to Premium and includes a catalog of beloved classic games from the original PlayStation, PS2, PSP generations of download and play, along with time-limited game trials, benefits from yada yada yada. So, let's... What is this one? Okay, here we go. I just read that. Where's the other one?
I'm gonna help you out. There are 3 tiers.
Yeah,
You got PlayStation Essential. You got PlayStation.
I thought you were
already
helping
forgot.
me. I thought you were helping me.
Yeah, you got Essential, you got Premium, and then you got, what is it?
You have Essential plus Essential plus
Not plus.
Essential, Extra, and Premium.
There we go.
Yeah.
Essential is the one essentially that you have now, the one that you're paying for regular PlayStation Plus with the 2 games a month, more or less.
Extra.
Extra
provides-
gets you PS4, PS5. Then the Super one gets you PS4, PS5, then the other systems. But you can't download PS3, which was going to be a hard sell anyway because you weren't able to do that with PS Now. Most of that stuff you had to stream anyway, just because of the cell engine processor, all that stuff. So
what I read was the Premium. Yeah.
yeah, $199 or $119.99 a year. Sony, there was a backdoor link on Sony's website for a few days last week, I think, that allowed you to go through an old deal and get it for $60 a year. I bought 2 years of that.
That wasn't a bad deal. Sony advertised that.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
The one for $60 a year?
For 2 years? Yeah, that was on Sony's official Twitter page.
When?
When you told me about it, I was like, yeah, I saw it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was.
That don't sound.
I'm serious.
Okay.
I
wasn't aware of that.
Because I was like, I'm still not buying this, Sony.
That doesn't make sense. If they just announced it for $199, now they're just selling it to you for $60.
Because they had a limited time, because you can do up till, because it doesn't come down until what, June, July. You can still get on at these reduced prices. They want people to get on. It's kind of the same way they did Game Pass when it first started. Because when Game Pass first started, it was $9.99. Remember? And they kept it $9.99. I remember this because you were trying to sell me on Game Pass, and I was like, "This sounds like a dumb idea." And you were so adamant about Game Pass was the future of gaming, and it was going to work. I remember because you kept beating me over the head, and people were like, "Leroy is a Sony shill," and I was like, "I just think Sony has done a better job." And then as Microsoft improved Game Pass, I was like, "Holy cow, this is amazing!"
So where are we stand now? You getting Sony Plus?
No, I just told you that.
Audience, y'all let us know. Are you getting PlayStation Plus? Like I said, I took advantage of the deal to get 2 extra years. I was basically doing the PS Plus Essential version, and I upgraded to the PS Now with all that stuff. Having said that, I still haven't actually used PS Now yet. I just bought it because y'all know, like I said, I'm bad with my money, and I wanted 2 years just to see what the system does. The biggest thing we still don't know that everybody wants to know is what are the games that they're going to be included in the system. It sounds great, but if they're games that you don't want to play, like if I'm getting Brave Fencer Musashi, that's pretty cool. But if I'm getting like some really weird niche JRPGs that nobody cares about, I don't know. X-Men Legends, that would be cool. If you can play all these online, so if I could do like X-Men Legends, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2, to play those again, that would be cool.
But again, they don't say what games are available. And what got me was, and what really made me not do this deal was, Sony has a bad habit of, how do I say this without jeopardizing my relationship with Sony, because I know they want to invest in us. Sony has a bad habit of effing over customers because
Friend of the show, Jim Ryan, we still love you.
we still do.
Permanent host, we still love you. Go
Sony,
ahead.
friend of the show.
Uh-huh.
Could have given us that Morbius money.
They didn't make enough Morbius money.
Man,
Lots of people.
you know what? You could have gave us the money and we could.
Don't say we would have done a better job because we would not have done a better job.
Oh, the Morbius. Oh yeah, we imagine if we had the money they gave to Morbius and we put that in the News 19 and we put this in the press play. Son, do you know what kind of stuff I could have done with that Morbius money?
Nothing.
So, you
Nothing.
crazy. I'd have
Nothing.
had this thing looking like the Daily Blast Live on crack.
Nope.
Yep, it would have been great. Sony, hit us up. Anyway, the week that this came out, another report came out that PS3 games and Vita games on the PlayStation Network were not, people who had downloaded them could not play them and access them because they found out in some of these games they had rolled back the expiration date to an early expiration date, so like 1609 May. And all these people lost entire catalogs of games. And it's like Sony has a habit of doing stuff like this.
Do we know why they did that?
Nope, Sony has not responded as of the last time I saw it was an article on The Verge and Polygon. And so 1699, is that 1969? Whatever it was basically they had rolled back the expiration date. Now these are the same games, remember, Sony had a problem with before when they were like, after this date, you're not going to be able to get them off the network anymore. I do not trust Sony in the regards when it comes to digital and downloading stuff because Sony's already been caught charging exorbitant amount of money for games on their digital site. I do not trust Sony when it comes to this. Microsoft has done a good job of backwards compatibility. I'm not going to make this out to be like Microsoft is some Salvation Army goodwill corporation. No, they're in a business to make money. But when it comes to being kind to consumers, consumer friendly, backwards compatible, Microsoft has done a better job and has a better track record than Sony does.
Sure. We've kind of seen it between Jim Ryan at one point said...
Friend of the show.
Yes, friend of the show, Jim Ryan, head of
Give us the Morbius money.
Sony, or head of PlayStation, said, we believe in generations. That was a big thing they said because that was the reason why they didn't want to do backwards compatibility.
And then what happened?
There was a console shortage. There was a chip shortage.
There was a chip shortage and a pandemic.
So they're like, oh, you know what? We don't have, we can cross-pollinate.
And they realized they have 100 million user base in PlayStation 4.
Right.
And not everybody has a PlayStation 5.
Right.
You know who does have them?
Who?
Scalpers.
Yeah.
So Sony has the money from all those PlayStations being sold, but the consumers don't have them.
True. So they have since walked that back now and had a lot of their newer games are being on PS4 and PS5. I don't have any insider information, but I think that would probably come to an end by the end of this year. In terms of, I think, like after this year, I think you're going to see stuff just on PS5. Because it seems like both Xboxes and PS5s are easier to get in store now. And they're staying in stock on their digital distribution sites longer than they have in the past.
I'm not willing to go that far just yet because they did say the console shortage is going to last until 2023. Both Microsoft and Sony have both said that they will last until 2023. We've seen different governments, our own United States government has said we're going to try to manufacture some of these chips here on U.S. soil to help out. We've seen money from the federal government given to certain places. I think it was Joe Biden last month. Was it last month we did the... Hold on, sorry, you don't work here anymore. We did a story, and Joe Biden was at one of the companies talking about touting the federal government investing in the chip shortage because the chip shortage is a national security problem for us.
Sure.
I say all that to say, right now, if you bought a PS4 game, the PS5 upgrade is free. So it almost is better for you to buy the PS4 game.
Yeah. For certain games. For certain games.
So like, let's take Guardians of the Galaxy. I bought the PS4 Deluxe edition and got the free PS5 upgrade.
Okay.
So there's a lot of games like that. Horizon Zero Dawn is another one. Don't buy the PS5 version because it would make more sense to buy the PS4 version and you got the free upgrade. There's a lot of different games that are doing that. I do not see that stopping anytime soon because here's the thing. You still can't walk into a store and buy a PS5.
Right.
And until you can do that, that's when I think you'll see some of that change. You can get one if you follow the deals and you see one. They will have that opportunity for you to buy one. But you can't walk into a store and be like, oh look, there's a PS5 on the shelf.
Yeah. And I think you're seeing that in terms of buying digital. You're seeing that not with just video game consoles, but everything with the that had the chip shortage. A lot of the GPUs now, they're coming down in price because they're easier to get.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to get a 30 Ti card, or maybe just a 30 card, for manufacturer price. I think it's $699. I think right now it might be down to $999, and before it was like $1,500, $1,600. So
because back in the day,
it's slowly coming down.
Hey, back in the day, if you wanted to get one, you had to do one of these. You had to be like a Moon Knight. Put this on, and hey, because you remember that story? Somebody knocked over a truck.
Yeah.
Somebody robbed a truck to get those graphics cards.
Very few games have free upgrades. Brian B, I think a lot of the big Sony PlayStation games have had the free upgrade path. A lot of the third-party ones have not.
It depends. So it depends. Microsoft's most of their first-party games has the upgrade for free.
Yeah, Microsoft is. Yeah,
Microsoft has said most of theirs is for free. They haven't said how long that's going to last. Only certain games have not done. I think what is one of them that said no, you got to pay this money.
Talking about from Microsoft?
Yeah, no, from Sony.
I mean, like third party stuff like Take Two. So NBA 2K, that stuff is 80 or whatever.
Well, that was
Spider-Man was like that too. Like Spider-Man for PS4 versus PS5 was a $10 difference. And I want to say Returnal and Ratchet & Clank, but those are both PS5 games, so that wouldn't matter. Yeah. But anyway, getting back to PlayStation Plus, what do they need? Having heard what is on the system now, what can they add? Is it Vita games, and then you're like, okay?
No, I need them to stop every 6 months having a story about their digital problems. I need Microsoft, not Microsoft. I need Microsoft to push Sony more, because let's be honest, the only reason why Sony is doing this is because they realize they have to.
Sure.
Sony has to realize there is a future in this, and they need to not be Sony when it comes to this and thinking, oh, we're going to release this and everybody's going to jump on board. Because, one, we don't know what the titles are. Two, we know that Sony is grimy when it comes to their digital. Again, the story that came out last year, because Sony's being sued over it, is that they were overcharging for digital titles versus physical titles. So what makes me think on their digital streaming game service they're going to be any different than their PlayStation Network overcharging us for games? Also, I need to know these games that if I play are going to work and not going to disappear and in the middle of me playing it. Like, in other words, I need to see it in action. Because, again, just this week, people who had PS3 games, people who had Vita games, who went to go play them, who own these games, again, this is why I say physical over digital, they disappeared. And that has always been my biggest gripe when it comes to this. And the fact that they have not added Vita games, I don't know why they haven't, and added PS2 games or PSP games.
Well, we talked about that. Like, I think one of the reasons why they didn't is because the Vita has that touchpad, and they don't know what the control scheme is going to be on the new system. Even though they have like a little touchpad on PS5, I think it's
what I'm saying is
getting Vita to work properly on a PS5.
What I'm saying is then make the Vita games just for Vita customers, like people who own a Vita. In other words, you can put them on there, and then be like, you got to have a Vita to play this game, but put them on there. In other words, you don't have to make everything PS5. And so that's one of the things I think would encourage people, that says, hey, this is something different. It may cost them some money, but it's not like they're lacking any money. I mean, they probably made a lot of money off that Morbius movie.
Anyway, so people
Yeah, I'm
are calling
coming
us
from
out
Vegas.
for Sony. So yeah, there are more. Let's revise our statement. Then there are more games that are not part of the free upgrade path than were part of the free upgrade path for Sony. Because people are calling out like GTA 7, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, which we already said. But yeah, so I'm just pointing it out.
I mean, there are a few games, but to me, there are more. I thought there were more Sony games or more games for the PS5 that did have the free upgrade versus not.
Oh no.
Really?
No, God no. I would not agree with that. Sorry,
Okay.
that's what you were saying before the no. There were some, but there because that was the big issue is the fact that most of them weren't. Because people are like, some of these are, but like most of them aren't. Because everybody's talking about the fact that Microsoft made all of them 100% free in terms of
Yeah.
upgrading, and people are like, you don't even have a majority of yours. You got like one or two like that.
Really? See,
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to that. Then I was incorrect.
Okay. One thing to point out, and I've been reading a lot of articles. I think this is interesting. It's even though they both offer a streaming like service, what Microsoft is doing with Game Pass is different than what Sony is doing with PlayStation Plus. Unfortunately, I think Sony's going to get dinged because the 8-second elevator pitch is, hey, this is Sony's Game Pass. Even though they're doing something different, they haven't differentiated themselves enough to make it seem like a totally different system than what Game Pass is. I don't know if they're going to put the marketing money behind that to make people understand that it's different. Like I said, I bought it because I'm a sucker. But if they don't sell enough, I can understand why. And I could see them maybe dropping the price down or something to try and get people.
So let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
Because this is a conversation we had, because personally, I felt Sony could have done something other than what Microsoft did by offering, because Sony owns a movie studio, Sony owns a music studio. I felt like they could have done, had those things on there. And that's what I would have invested in it if I could have gotten a game, Netflix of gaming with extra movies and music. Kind of like having a Spotify.
Sure.
Like that.
I think that's something they'll add later as ways to be like, hey, we're growing the service, so we'll add it in later as opposed to doing it day one, because then they can't make it a feature 6 months down the line.
But here's the problem. You already are pricing, because again, we talked about this last time we were on. Here's my problem with this. Because when you talked about Game Pass was cheap to get people on. It only had 100 games. Sony's saying we're coming out the box for premium with 400. Extra has 3 something. Is it going to be the same price? Because if this is the cheapest it's going to be now, it is definitely not worth it. Because again, what are you going to get rid of to buy this? And that's and for those people who are doing balancing their budgets, tax time is here. When it comes to money, what are you going to get rid of to buy this?
Sure.
And that's what I ask you when it comes down to this. I'm already on board saying this does not interest me. But I will say this, the Steam Lab that comes out, or the Steam Deck that comes out, I have already pre-ordered. I put my $5 down. I talked to my wife. My wife was like, cool, you've been a good husband this year. You can buy it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to buy the upgraded Microsoft Game Pass that allows me to play Xbox games and PC games because I'm going to have the Steam Deck. Sony is not getting me to do that. And what I'm saying is, if I have to look at all of my streaming services and things that I have to pay, I'm going to keep Disney Plus. My free trial for Apple TV is over. I can kick them $5 and cut back. I don't drink
I
coffee.
think it might be $7.
It's like $6.99.
That's $7.
No, it's not. That penny helps.
Okay, sure.
So Netflix I still have. We share Hulu with someone else. So then you start looking at, okay, are you going to do Sony or are you going to do Microsoft? And right now, Microsoft is here and Sony's down there. And that's what I said when you told me that, you get the $60. I thought that was Sony who put that out, because I'm thinking Sony wants as many people on this now. Because again, it makes sense to make it a lower price to get people on and then raise it later. Same thing with HBO Max.
We've already said Sony isn't smart with how they do stuff.
I agree with you, but what I'm saying is that's my issue. That's what, like right now, HBO Max is going to have The Batman come out Monday. on my anniversary. Thank you, Warner Brothers. I really appreciate that. We'll get to you in a second. But my point is, what are you going to get rid of? Because I'm not getting rid of HBO Max. I can watch Friends, Elmo, Sesame Street, Black Lady Sketch Show. Go back and watch Insecure. I still got all the stuff there, and then they're going to merge that with Discovery. So I'm going to get all my HGTV and punching people in the face. Mm-hmm. Sony, wake up, man.
All right, we can talk about our next topic now. Moving to that. Whatever, Discovery head. Well, I can't think of his name. Doesn't matter.
You could have looked it up by now.
You could have looked it up by now. This is your topic.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go bring him up. I was just going to talk about what we would talk about.
Discovery head. He has plans to revamp the WB. He wants to bring in a Kevin Feige-like figure. These are the reports.
From Variety. They had an
Variety,
exclusive.
yeah. Variety had an exclusive. He wants to bring in a Kevin Feige-like figure to spearhead the Warner Brothers team and make more one-off movies like
He
Joker.
wants to overhaul DC, basically.
Yeah. Is that the right move going forward?
Yeah.
Warner Brothers?
David Zaslav. He's the CEO of the combined companies Discovery and Warner Media.
Okay.
Hold on. That's a good question. Before we get into the topic, is that the right move going forward? You go. Do you think it is?
Probably so. Here's the thing. I definitely prefer the Marvel movies over the Warner Brothers movies. I don't hate the Warner Brothers movies. Sometimes they're just kind of like, eh.
What's your favorite Warner movie so far?
Like not counting Nolan stuff?
Yeah, because we're talking from Man of Steel on, because that's the universe. See what I'm saying? Like the universe starts with
My
Man of
favorite
Steel.
one? Oh, my favorite one is probably Harley Quinn and the long stupid title.
And the fantabulous birds of Birds of Prey.
The Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Mm-hmm. That was a really good movie. I wish more people had seen that movie. I thought that was a great movie.
It's a good one.
That's probably my favorite one within that universe. Mm-hmm. What about you? Oh, probably Man of Steel, right?
It's between Man of Steel and the Batman.
Is that still in this? I guess it is, right? Because it's whatever.
What do you mean? Is it still in this?
Well, because it's like that Batman isn't Ben Affleck's Batman, right?
It doesn't matter. He's talking. So this is the thing. All the Warner movies of when Hamada, was it Hamada?
I think it's Walter Hamada.
When Hamada was said, he coined the phrase "their universes, worlds of DC." Mm-hmm. And remember, because I called it, I was like, watch, they're going to go Elseworlds and say each of these universes, TV is separate, CW, movies is separate, HBO Max may be. So I was like, they're going to go that route. Mm-hmm. They've already said the Joker is in his own universe. The Batman is in his own universe. Ben Affleck's Batman is in the Snyderverse.
Okay.
So my top 3 movies as far as in this current iteration of Warner Brothers movies, Man of Steel, the second Suicide Squad, and the Batman. For me, those are my top 3.
I don't think I have a top 3.
I do.
I think I just have the Harley Quinn movie.
I would. Wonder Woman would be up there. The first Wonder Woman.
That was good.
If the second half wasn't all laser light show. With
maybe the last third. I'm gonna say the last half, but I get what you're saying.
Because it built up to, I forget what his name, to be the villain, and it was like, oh,
Ares.
Yeah, and it was Ares, and you're like, what? Come on, man! Like, make the other guy Ares.
Sure.
Like, it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And I didn't like
Danny
that.
Houston.
Yes, he
passed away, didn't he?
No, he did not.
Didn't he?
No, don't be like my mother-in-law killing dudes for no reason. Sir, don't not put that out there. I love Danny Houston.
Oh, he's still around.
Oh, thank God.
Cool.
Sir.
Angelica Houston passed away.
There's an SNL skit about you.
Or she didn't pass away. I don't know, man.
She did not pass.
I don't know.
She
Don't
was
listen to me,
just, God, you are like my mother-in-law. We're literally watching TV and she's like, he's dead. And I'm like, what? No, he's on
in my world.
He's in a current
I
TV
apologize.
show.
I apologize.
She's like, he's dead. And we argued with her that he is not dead. And she was like, well, I thought he was dead. How? This show is on TV now. Anyway.
Brian B. Wonder Woman was good on the island, then it sucked. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, yeah.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
I mean, Wonder Woman was almost perfect up until that last half. The last 2/3, last third.
Yeah.
The movie. It was perfect.
Rick Warren says if they're doing a one-offs and not a shared universe, they don't need a Kevin Feige-like person. Interesting take.
Here's where, so you go. How would you? So now that you've said you've only got one, do you like one of the?
Oh,
movies?
so here are my people to do whatever.
What would
So
you?
let's start with who's our Kevin Feige, right?
Hold on. What would you do? If, in other words, if David Zaslav has said, you know what, News 19 nerds, bump Leroy, Michael, you're the brains of this operation. Friend of the show here, David Zaslav. I'm hiring you to fix this. Go. How would you fix it?
I don't know how I would fix it.
Really?
No.
I told you to come up with an idea.
You said was I need to come up with who's going to be my Kevin Feige.
I said, how
and
would you
pick
fix?
three and pick
I
three
said, how
people.
would you fix the DC universe?
Show me that. Show me the receipt.
I'm
on
about
that.
to.
Okay. But I think I'm curious to see what this Flashpoint movie does, to see how it reboots the worlds of DC if it does it all.
If they release it.
I think
Ezra Miller just got arrested, man, and they're already contemplating.
so. Ezra Miller was arrested. Yes. I mean, they may go in. It wouldn't be past DC to replace him with somebody completely. Mm-hmm. Where they did that for what Johnny Depp to
Yep. Mads Mikkelsen.
Mikkelsen.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean it's possible. I think that movie meant so much to change what the world of DC is going to be.
Also for DC, let's discuss how you would fix or reboot the universe. Who would you hire to run it? Which 3 characters would you pick for movies or HBO Max shows?
I don't remember that last part. So,
Sir, people, this is what gaslighting is.
Pixar didn't happen. So how would I fix it? I think you release this Flashpoint movie, and you say, okay, we're starting over.
Okay.
And then I think you put the people in place to do whatever. I don't know how I would personally fix it. I think the people I would hire would be the ones to fix it. So
Okay.
I'm going to go to who is my Kevin Feige person. Now, I don't want to mispronounce this person's name. They're an Indonesian director.
Okay.
And I wrote his name down. His name is Bismarcka Kurniawan, I think.
And why would you go with that?
Bismarcka, it's Bismark.
B-I-S.
And then last name is Kurniawan.
Hold on. B-I-S-M?
Arka.
Ah, okay. Producer for Gundala?
Yes.
Okay.
For people who only keep the only watch like English-made, American-made movies, you got to expand your horizon because there's so much more awesome movies being made across the pond all over the place. The Indonesian film market is sick in terms of like really good, well choreographed movies with martial arts and everything like that. And they always say like lower budgets force you to be more creative with stuff and everything, right? Indonesia has found a way to be real creative with their movies. They had a movie in 2018, 2019 or something called Kundala. It is based on an Indonesian superhero. They are trying to start their own MCU, but it's called the BCU.
This is called Gundala.
I just said Gundala.
I thought you said Kundala.
No, Gundala.
Oh, okay.
If I did, then I can't pronounce my words. I meant Gundala.
That might be true.
It's the Bimilanjit Cinematic Universe.
Okay.
Again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing these words
Okay.
right or not. I hope I am. But it is essentially the Indonesian version of the MCU. They have already said they got that. Once they saw Iron Man, they're like, oh, we can do this in Indonesia because I don't know if you know. You might know. Do you know anything about like the Indonesian comic scene? Okay, I only say that because it's a well-known comic scene.
It
over there.
is, but the thing is, Marvel keeps trying to get into it,
Okay.
and they keep failing.
Okay.
So I don't know, so everybody tries to get into it, like American comics try to break into it, and because they know it's big, but all of the things that they try to get into fail, and they don't translate. A lot of companies haven't translated a lot of them over here like they do with manga or some European comics. I know it's big, but I don't know.
Yeah, in Indonesia, they have, decades upon decades
Yeah.
of comic lore and history, thousands of heroes. And the first movie they did was Gundala, which is a guy with superpowers, or with lightning powers from, I want to say, a lab experiment. It's a really good movie. You can watch it for free on YouTube right now. I don't know if it has ads. It probably does. It's on YouTube, right? Probably has ads.
No, sometimes you got to pay for them.
No, I mean, it's free.
Oh.
It's free. I just don't know if there are
Oh,
ads.
with
within
ads
it.
or without
yeah.
ads. Oh.
But anyway, it's on YouTube. Really good choreography.
Okay.
It does look a little low budget, but I mean, it's an Indonesian movie. You're not going to get
So
$100
would he
million.
direct? So would he direct or would he just run it?
I want him to run it.
Okay.
Yeah. So he did direct Gundala.
Gundala.
But he has a wider scheme for what he wants for the BCU to be. He's talking with like the greatest martial arts choreographers. The guy who directed your movie. What's the one I told you that I couldn't watch because it was too violent for me?
Ooh, The Night Comes for Us.
Yes.
Oh!
That guy is in charge of all of his stunts for all of the BCU movies.
Son, I may watch that again tonight.
So that's what I'm saying. He goes out and he's like, I can't do this, but I can get the person who knows how to do it. So he's putting those people in place. That's who I would hire. And the reason why I would hire him is because he knows what it's like to work on a smaller budget. So he knows how to be creative with smaller money. So if he has larger money, I think he could translate that to maybe having better special effects, but you're still going to have great choreography.
You went the same way I did.
Yeah.
Because I did not get, okay.
Like, I wasn't going to get like a Steven Spielberg or
No.
and
I wasn't doing that either.
yeah. But to me, I like that because he works with a smaller cast. He knows how to do all that stuff. And the fact that he's in a smaller market trying to break into a larger area, he probably knows how to hit that, whatever the 4-quadrant family thing is of whatever. I don't know. But you've heard that, the 4 quadrants of the movie theater people. Yes, no?
What are you talking about?
A 4-quadrant movie that like it hits like, and I don't know what the quadrants are, but it's like it's a movie that will appeal to everybody.
Oh,
they
I
call
know.
it a 4-quadrant movie.
I know
whatever.
what you're talking about. I don't. Just a diagram that you have to hit this, you have to hit this, you have to hit this. It's like story beats.
Yeah, I feel like he knows how to do that from working in a smaller market.
Interesting. Okay.
I think the fact that his movies are smaller, they have to tell a story quicker, so they're a little bit faster paced, and they're going to be faster paced with more energy and a little more frenetic, and it's going to translate to cool superhero movies.
Okay.
So that's who I would pick for that.
All right.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Who would you use to reboot, or what 3 characters would you use? Because that's the interesting part.
Zatanna.
Okay.
So I wanted to stay away from the Holy Trinity because I feel like everything is always the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
And I understand why, because they're so well, those logos and people are well known across the world. But I feel like somebody like Zatanna, I feel like him working on Gundala can work with a smaller character that's lesser known and get her into a wider audience. I think people, and this might just be me, but I think people like magic. Movies that center on magic and deal with magic. I don't necessarily think that well has run dry like maybe a zombie movie or a sci-fi, not in a sci-fi, but like a zombie genre. I think we could do more with magic movies. So I like the idea of having a Zatanna character. I would probably pick one of the Holy Trinity, and if I had to pick one, I'd probably say Superman. Only because we just got Batman. We continue to get Batman, and it seems like they don't know what they want to do with Superman, whether we're going to get this Black Superman movie whenever that's supposed to come, whatever that's going to be.
TV show.
It's a TV show now?
I believe it's a TV show.
Okay, well, whatever. It ain't here yet. So we haven't seen Superman in a while, so I would do Zatanna, I would do Superman, and I was trying to find a funny character, but I don't know comics like you do. I was trying to figure out who's a funny character, and I feel like Blue Beetle or Booster Gold.
So it's interesting you said both of those. Blue Beetle, which one?
I don't know.
Okay, because there's two different ones.
I do know that, but I don't know the names.
Because the Blue Beetle, they're doing Jamie is it Reyes? The most recent one is the one getting his movie.
And that's the guy from Cobra Kai that's going to be in that.
Yes.
Yes. And I just saw Susan Sarandon's going to be the villain now, replacing Sharon Stone. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I would probably say Booster Gold because I feel like in passing I've heard more about people liking Booster Gold stories in terms of them being funny. So I would say Booster Gold for comedy. I would say Zatanna because she's a smaller, lesser known character. And then to get that wide appeal of Superman.
Okay.
So that's my spiel.
Interesting. I would not have picked any of those, but I like the way you're going. I think that's very interesting.
Now, Comic Man, school us. Get on the mount and tell us this story.
Hold on, wait.
Oh, hold on. Bank 757, Quadrant 1, males under 25 years old. Quadrant 2, women under 25 years old. Quadrant 3, male over 25 years old. Quadrant 4, women over 25 years old. Thank you, Bank 757, for giving us what the 4 quadrants are. Oh, he is getting into something, and I don't.
The knowledge from on high on how to fix the DC universe.
I need to record and write these notes down. Go ahead.
First step. Do not recast. You must find the one, the Tim, the Bruce Tim. You must get Bruce Tim You must back up a truck of whatever he needs. Money, fidget spinners, coconuts, red pandas, whatever he wants, and he would be the Kevin Feige. Go ahead.
I do know who Bruce Timm is. For those who don't know, who is Bruce Timm?
Let me tell you about Bruce Timm.
Okay.
There was a little animated cartoon. I don't know if you've heard of it. Starred a guy. His name was Bruce Wayne. Mild-mannered guy. He had a little bit of money. Had some tragedy in his life. And he took it upon himself to rid the world.
Maybe rid Gotham.
I mean, he wanted the world.
I feel like he had issues with Gotham. But
He's got issues with Gotham, but
Yeah.
once he gets Gotham down, he's move on.
Cool.
Gotham is a little, he bit off more than he can chew.
He did.
And he doesn't want anyone to feel the way he felt. That man, Bruce Timm, produced Batman Animated Adventures. Gave us Kevin Conroy. Basically gave us a blueprint of one of the best Batman stories ever. Then he turned his attention to Superman. Then he gave us the blueprint for what I consider the best Justice League ever. And Justice League Unlimited. He would be the person I would hire.
Do you like Justice League or Justice League Unlimited more?
Both.
Okay.
I mean, to me,
it's a continuation.
it's a continuation. I thought I had one of them here.
Okay.
I thought I did, but I might have taken that home because I didn't want nobody to steal
I
it.
still like that Keanu Constantine. Okay.
The reason why I would get Bruce Timm is because the difference between everybody... Here's the thing that a lot of people haven't realized when it comes to what works. You've got to hire people who love what they're doing.
Sure. And
love the material. The reason why Kevin Feige has been able to do what he did with Marvel and through Disney is because Kevin Feige worked on movies that did not work. He was a fan. He's a comic fan. He's admitted Kevin Feige has made sure through the people he's hired and people he's put in place, there are literal scenes from covers in movies. There's literal scenes from particular panels that are in these movies, these television shows. That's all due to Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige's a fan, but he allows the people that he hires to do the things that need to be done. Bruce Timm, like you mentioned, your guy from Gandala, Bruce Timm, a lot of people should go back. I really wish there was a documentary about Batman Animated Adventures and how that show came to be. Because a lot of people don't realize Batman Animated Adventures is the fact of they didn't have a lot of money. If you look at the color schemes, those color schemes were from other shows that they were able to repurpose for Batman the Animated Adventures. And keep in mind, when Batman the Animated Adventures came out, it came out during prime time. That wasn't a daytime show. That was a show that kids and adults liked. Here's a man who knows how to work with a limited amount of budget, who knows the characters, who has shaped an entire universe. I wish Dwayne McDuffie was still around. Go look him up. He's passed away. He was one of the creators of Milestone Comics when it comes to static, hardware, Icon, and Rocket. You want someone who's on Kevin Feige's level, you need a Bruce Timm. I would have Bruce Timm in charge. Now, here's the other part of it. The reason why I say Bruce Timm is because here's the thing. Kevin Feige would be nowhere without one name, and it's Jon Favreau.
Sure. Because
if you look at what Jon Favreau was able to do with Iron Man, that's where Kevin Feige didn't direct Iron Man, but he did get someone who could do it. Mm-hmm. Let's look at Star Wars. Right now, who's in charge of Star Wars? Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni is...
I thought you were going to say Kathleen Kennedy.
She's in charge as far as, but who's in charge of the actual creation of these shows?
It does seem like Dave Filoni has his hands in everything, yeah.
When I say who's in charge, what's the number one Star Wars property right now? It's The Mandalorian. It's Baby Yoda. Mm-hmm. That's where you get with someone who studied under the master, George Lucas. Dave Filoni's so good, he makes you like the prequels because he was able to mine the prequels for two properties that people are now like, give it to me. I have a mighty need. The Clone Wars and Rebels. Mm-hmm. And now all of those characters from Filoni's universe are now live action and everybody can't get enough. They're like, They're just mainlining it into me.
Sure.
It's like a saline drip. Give it to me. You need Bruce Timm. Now, Bruce Timm has not done. Go ahead.
Well, D. Stiesel says Bruce Timm does what he wants with the animated stuff. I'm not sure WB would give him full control of the live action stuff.
Let me tell you why you go with Bruce Timm and why you would have to give him full control. Because no one else in your DC universe has the knowledge, has worked with these characters, and keep in mind, he's done it with animation. Mm-hmm. So imagine what he could do hiring and developing talent to do this with live action, with a larger budget. Now, to help him are two people who either could direct or who could be in charge of different... So Bruce Timm is the head. Two people underneath him is Misha Green, Lovecraft Country, and Damien Lindelof. I would have those two people in the wings ready to go to run HBO Max and the actual Warner Brothers movie slates. Because Misha Green has shown that she can craft a show, she can tell a story, she understands the story beats for a show to keep you engaged. She's worked with people, and people are clamoring for Lovecraft Country to come back. Damien Lindelof took a beloved property, Watchmen, and literally lit it on fire. Damien Lindelof, if you've listened to the podcast that he did when Watchmen came out, how he talked about there were things when it came to race, when it came to history, I did not know. So you know what I did? I put people in the room with me who did. Mm-hmm. Do you know a little thing called Tulsa, Oklahoma? Guess what? The first episode of Watchmen was so good, it literally captured the zeitgeist of the entire country. It educated people. Now take those three people and put them in charge of Warner Brothers. You can still do your Elseworlds. Mm-hmm. You can still say, Damon, Damien or Mr. Lindelof. Sure. You can say, hey, we want to do a line of Joker movies. This is the man who helped get us Lost. He's worked with J.J. Abrams. He has done his own things. You think he's done a good job with The Watchmen? Go watch The Leftovers. This is a man who knows how to craft a show. Then you have something up and coming in Misha Green, who people are like wanting to work with. She turned Journey Smollett into a household name. Ain't nobody was checking for her. Jonathan Majors. You know who these people are because of Lovecraft Country. Mm-hmm. That's who you put in charge of. And you can still do your, hey, let's do a Batman movie here, let's do it here. But you get those three to get you a line. You get a universe. And you take already the existing people you have casted. Keep Ben Affleck. Keep Michael Keaton. You have...
Keep Cavill.
Oh, I got plans for Cavill.
Okay.
So you keep those people. And the reason why you keep those people is because this is a comic universe. But you get people who love the characters who can actually give you a product that people would watch. Okay. They already know how to work within Warner Media because they're already employees who've worked in the company. Mm-hmm. So they already know the culture. And that's a big part of it too. Because one of the things that Kevin Feige did was he already had worked on movie sets. He'd already done these jobs. So that's why, for me, that's my holy trinity. Bruce Timm to run it, and those two would be his captains.
Before you name your characters that they were based on, I have a question just that dawned on me. So we both talked about who we would get to kind of be their Kevin Feige person. Do we think it's possible under the current regime of people? Because this all sounds great, but it seems like another issue with Warner Brothers is like the people at the top seem to kind of meddle with stuff and it trickles down.
And that's why I said those three, because they know how to maneuver. So here's the thing that I've been learning, I've been watching other podcasts. Your studio gives you notes, and you can look at notes and you can say, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Now, Warner Brothers has a bad history of pissing off talent because we just talked about this last year, the whole, hey, you liked it in the theater? It's going to be on HBO Max too. They lost one of the biggest directors and Christopher Nolan. They pissed off Denis Villeneuve. So you need somebody who's worked within the system to navigate, to sidestep those pitfalls.
Sure.
And I almost didn't sidestep that one.
I was like, oh, jeez.
That's why I need Misha. And that's why I said you need someone like a Misha Green. You need someone like Mr. Lindelof. Because if you look at those shows, those were heavy shows.
Sure.
To open your Watchmen show with the bombing, the destruction, the massacre of Tulsa and Black Wall Street, and your whole show is about white supremacy and the Klan, and DC had to sign off on that. Warner Brothers had to sign off on that. So what I'm saying is, if he did that with his staff, with his writer's room, and was able to do that, give you, like Regina King, because of Watchmen, she should have been hosting Saturday Night Live all along, but she got to host Saturday Night Live because of that. Now, we've known her from 227. But the rest of the world finally found out about these people we've known for years.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, if he could do that with Watchmen, you don't think this man couldn't do a Green Arrow movie?
Sure.
He literally gave us racism, eugenics, like you name it, he gave it to us. He can do that. Misha Green. What?
He gave us critiques of racism.
No, he gave us racism.
Don't just say he gave us
racism. Like he was like, here, this is racism.
I don't think I don't know if that's exactly what you mean.
He codified it, he put it in a little box and gave it to us. And
like gift bags. It was a gift bag of racism.
He was like, this is racism, y'all.
Okay.
This is for y'all.
All right.
Misha Green, Lovecraft Country. And the time that she was able to tell that story, like when you go back and watch these shows and think about the fact that somebody from the studio came down and was like, what y'all doing? Oh, that's what y'all doing?
Okay, go ahead.
They was like, no, first it was like, hey man, this black girl over here doing this show, man. I don't know if we can, don't let her keep doing it. For real? Hey, they said y'all keep doing this. Like, that's what happened. So they already work within the system. And I think that is crucial. You have to know the culture. You know, we work at a Tegna station. Tegna has certain graphics, certain things that every Tegna station does. It helps when you go to another Tegna station versus someone who's coming in from the outside in.
Sure.
To integrate themselves into the station.
You already know the system somewhat.
There you go. And I think those three people are poised to revamp and retool.
Okay. Who are your characters?
Woo! Let's begin.
Uh-huh.
My first character. So, back in the day before Warner Brothers became this juggernaut or monolith, there was a little script. It was on the blacklist. It was called Supermax. And it was about Green Arrow, who was sent to a maximum security prison. And he basically had to fight his way out. He was convicted of a crime, yada, yada, yada. I would choose Green Arrow as my Daredevil, ground level heroes. So with Green Arrow, you bring in your ground level heroes like your Huntress, your Black Canary, your Catman. He already fits in.
Catman?
Yep, there's a Catman.
Didn't know.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
So there's a Supermax, Brian B. Yes, you remember. So here's the thing. What DC has done better than Marvel is their shows. The two HBO Max shows that have been used with DC characters are better than any Marvel show yet. Watchmen and Peacemaker are two of the best superhero shows from the big two.
What do you consider DMZ?
What?
Okay. Answers my question. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm mad at that show.
Okay.
I own every volume and every issue of that series. And what they did to it upset me. Okay. Because of what they could have done with the show. Sorry, I'm off topic.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
Cool.
Let me get back. You need ground level. You need that. And you can do that. Green Arrow is the person you do. And this is the thing. You don't go, Breck Warren says, no, D. Stiesel says, definitely not the CW schlock. I say you go Green Arrow like you went Daredevil. Mm-hmm. Give me a rich man, a rich white dude who's using his money and is trying to understand and navigate in the world we live in now with cancel culture, with different media outlets, social media. And this is a person who has to navigate while trying to do the right thing. You give that character to Misha Green and you give her all of the ground level characters, the Question, Gotham PD, Nightwing, Red Robin, all of those characters like you did with Peacemaker, you gangbusters. You've already got your TV set up. So that's one. Hold on, I see Banks. I saw the preview and it looked like some BS. I didn't finish the graphic novels, but I tell the trailer that they definitely dropped the ball. DMZ, so here's the thing. DMZ took characters that were from the graphic novels and they made a show. That is not the DMZ book. Read the DMZ book. The character that, what's her name? Rosario's playing is in the books, but the books to me are better because it talks about the build-up, how we got to the DMZ. And to me, that was a better storyline. But I digress. So one would be Green Arrow. As much as I love this character, he would not be featured. He would be... Here's the problem what a lot of universes make the mistake of. They make their most interesting character the focus. Batman is a ghost. Batman is...
He works best from the shadows?
He works best from the shadows, but people don't know what Batman is. They don't know... So there was, in one of the cartoons, in the Justice League that Bruce Timm did, they didn't realize Batman was human. That's what Batman is missing in a lot of these things. Batman is that dude who, when he shows up, and that's why I like the Batman. When he shows up, you're like, oh, he's real. Hey, man, put that purse down. No, you're like, I'm going home. I'm not robbing nobody today. That signal's on. That's what he would be in this universe. Batman doesn't get any movies. He didn't get any TV shows. He pops up, and when Batman pops up, you crap yourself. Because you know that hospital bill is going to be out the ass.
Because you're not dead, but
you're not dead.
You're close to it.
You're going to be close to it.
Okay.
You go wish Superman showed up. Because Superman going to give you a talk. He going to put you in jail. And you going to have all your teeth. If Batman shows up, you will have a limp for the rest of your life. Batman is not going to feature. So that's why I said Green Arrow. Go Green Arrow, HBO Max. Now, Ryan Porter brings up Milestone. Milestone can't show up just yet. Milestone comes in later on. That's my phase 2.
We went down on phase 2. I just want 3 characters.
No, hold on. That's phase 2. But
Okay.
that's another show.
Okay.
Now, my other character, the whole universe is centered around the Boy Scout. I'm centering my entire first half of the DC. Superman is your Captain America. He's your Boy Scout. He's the person everybody looks to rally behind. If you want to rally people, you need a Superman, like you had in Endgame with Captain America. Do you remember that scene when you thought Captain America was going to die because Thanos was going to beat the hell out of him? And he was like, I can do this all day. And you were like, oh no, baby, what is you doing?
Yeah.
That's who Superman is. Okay. Superman never gives up. And you need someone like that to inspire everybody else. In these dark times, you need a Superman. You need a Clark. Because even he defers to Clark. Because he realizes that's the heart and soul. So Superman would be, I would give Superman a 3-movie. So the way that they went about Batman's movies, where they interviewed Denny, they interviewed, before they settled on Matt Reeves, they interviewed a bunch of directors. Superman needs the same thing. Go out there and interview all of the best directors and settle on somebody who loves the character. Don't give me a dark Superman. Don't give me an evil Superman. I don't want to see any of that crap. Give me the wholesome Superman who is a journalist, who understands that I have all this power and this great responsibility, but I'm going to use it to do good. That's who you center your universe around. Superman. My third character, because I'm a sucker, and I love her, is Big Barda. Now, a lot of you don't know who Big Barda is. She's the wife of Mr. Miracle. And that's how you bring in your cosmic, your new gods. That's how you bring in Darkseid. Big Barda is like, she's not Wonder Woman, but she had a crappy childhood. Her and Mr. Miracle, that's how you bring in your cosmic, kind of like your Guardians of the Galaxy.
Every time you say Big Barda, I think of, is it Granny Goodness?
Yep.
They're not the same person.
Yeah,
Right?
nope. Granny Goodness is the one who raised Big Barda in the pits with the Furies.
Okay.
And she's evil.
Okay.
Evil.
Okay.
Like, think of evil babysitter.
Okay.
Those would be my three main people. Big Barda would lead your cosmic. Green Arrow would do your ground, like your Punishers and all that for Marvel Universe. That's how Green Arrow would be the leader of that. And a lot of people wonder why I picked Green Arrow. Go back and watch Justice League and remember when the Justice League was about to step down in Bruce Timm's universe, it was Green Arrow who stepped up and said, F you guys. Green Arrow was the one who said to the six, he said, F you. You can step down because you messed up.
He probably didn't say those words.
He said it in cartoon language.
I don't think he said
He
those
said
words.
F you because he said just because you guys messed up doesn't mean we're going to stop doing what we're doing. Mm-hmm. That was Green Arrow. That's the Green Arrow I want to see. Big Barda is the intro to Cosmic. That's who you get your new gods. That's how you get in Darkseid. And Darkseid is not... Stop trying to make Darkseid like Thanos. Darkseid is the last resort. You got to build up to Darkseid. You need Brainiac first. You need Vandal Savage. You need build up before you get there. Mm-hmm. You need Mongrel. That's who you get towards the end. But you've got to introduce all these other characters before you get there. And Big Barda is, and because you need someone. One of the things I loved about Big Barda, if you go back and read some of the comics, Big Barda is not small. That's a bad woman. And I really wished Gina Carano had got her stuff together because that's who a lot of people wanted. You want that type of body style. I want that type of woman on screen. I love Gal Gadot. I think she's great as Wonder Woman. But I want to see a woman who isn't a stick-thin waif figure.
Sure.
I want to see someone on screen who looks like a woman out in the street. And I think that would be something different, a body style we're not used to. Give me that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Questions? Audience, questions? I've laid it out for you.
Oh, Bank757 says, yo, that is exactly the same with me. I was definitely thinking about Granny Goodness. Breck Warren said, Big Barda, that's a twist. DC got to have the record for character reboots. Oh, and Spider-Man. They've been sitting on those milestone characters for years. Besides Static and some animated appearances from Icon, etc., it's been tumbleweeds rolling down these streets. Darkseid and Anti-Monitor are those in-game characters.
And see, that's the biggest thing. And that's why I said I respect people who like Zack Snyder's movies. I do. I like Zack Snyder. I think Army, what was it?
The zombie
the
casino
last
movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I enjoyed the heck out of that movie. I'm gonna tell you right now, the opening of that movie was better than half the stuff I've seen lately. I mean, that movie was great. I love Dawn of the Dead. I love Man of Steel. I met my wife. I went on a date with my wife and then went to see Man of Steel. I can tell you I love that movie. I don't like Zack Snyder's Justice League. I hate it. But I respect people who like it. That's them. That's not my Justice League. With that being said, the milestone characters, Darkseid, Anti-Monitor, those are your in-game characters. Those are your characters you build up to. You have heralds who show up. Those are the people you're like, we don't talk about Darkseid. We don't talk about Apocalypse. Mm-hmm. And you like, that's that kind of stuff that you get. That's what Darkseid is.
Okay.
But before you get there, you have to have enough people to fight Darkseid because this is a man who rules an entire planet. Do you realize how many people are on a planet? Mm-hmm. He can boom tube armies. So with that being said, you have to introduce Milestone. You have to introduce the Shadow Cabinet. You got to introduce Hardware, Icon, and they stand alone. Now, I would not introduce the Wildstorm characters. They would be their own separate universe, and I would give that to somebody and just make them HBO Max shows. Okay. But Milestone, they are coming back. They talked about Static is getting his own movie, I believe. But part of the problem was with the Milestone characters, Dwayne McDuffie's ex-wife owned the rights to that, and they just now got it back to where they were able to use it. Dwayne McDuffie, go look that dude up. That man was a genius. He was ahead of his time. Bruce Timm would not be where he is without Dwayne McDuffie's help.
Okay. You got anything else?
I want to go watch the Justice League again.
Okay.
Because, like, the reason why I love, like, Justice League Unlimited, there's an episode where the villains have mind wiped or have kidnapped and brainwashed female superheroes to fight in a cage match. And the moment there's this scene, so it's Black Canary, Huntress, Shayera, and Vixen. Now, Vixen and Shayera don't get along because Shayera, Hawk Girl, broke Jon Stewart's heart when she tried to take over the world with the Thanagarians.
Sure.
So they're in this ring, and they're fighting each other, and they like get the mind, they get the brainwashing stuff off, and it's the five of. Keep in mind, it's Huntress, it's Hawk Girl, it's Vixen, it's Black Canary, and out of the shadows the villains bring out, and they're like, oh. Y'all thought y'all was good? Y'all thought y'all had this? It's Diana Prince, brainwashed, and she wipes the floor with these heifers. And the look of dread on their face when they realized that Wonder Woman walked into this cage match, you could tell booty holes got tightened. Because Wonder Woman is one of the few people who can take a punch from Superman and fell Superman. Mm-hmm. And these women are like, you're wondering how we got here.
Right.
That's what Justice League did. And that's why I said, you go back and watch the Justice League and then watch Justice League Unlimited, and you can't tell me you didn't break when Jon Stewart got his heart broken by Shayera, Hawk Girl. And then you can't tell me you didn't get excited when you saw the episode when Warhawk showed up and Static was old. And he looked like Deion Cole. Because he had gray.
Sure.
You can't tell me you weren't hyped when they introduced Booster Gold or Hawk and Dove. Like, Bruce Timm and Dwayne McDuffie, through Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, introduced characters I never thought we would see on screen. Mm-hmm. And you're like, they made Star Labs a household name. Okay. Like, that's what you want to see.
Okay. All right, we hit the hour mark.
And I'm done.
Okay.
The floor is yours.
What got you through the week?
Not this.
I mean, so what fun stuff did you this week?
Oh, I ate. I slept.
All right. I may have mentioned this before, but there's a show on HBO Max called Southside. It is by Shahir Salahuddin and Diallo Riddle. Those are the two guys I mentioned before who did Sherman Showcase on IFC. It's a show.
Southside used to be on Comedy Central. How did it get on HBO Max?
HBO Max bought it.
Really?
So after season 1, it went to HBO Max.
Really? Okay.
And there's a season 3 coming. It's been greenlit. They haven't done it yet. But yeah, Southside is great. I really enjoyed it. That's what I've been watching this week, or the past 2 weeks. That. I finally hooked up my 65-inch
looks good,
4K TV with some LEDs on the furniture. I was like, ooh, this looks nice. I got a professional setup now. Yeah.
I told you.
Playing games at 4K, man, can't go back. Can't go back.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I've been playing Forza Horizon. I'm not even really a big racing fan. Just seeing the visuals, I'm like, oh, it's like I'm really there. It's great. I've been playing that a lot. Any other games? Finally started playing Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm enjoying that. So those 2 games, Southside. Started watching Hacks on HBO Max because Jean Smart is a treasure. If y'all don't know who Jean Smart is, she's a
Season 2 is coming back. Yeah. Season 2 is coming out. Jean Smart was the FBI agent. She played, remember, in Watchmen.
Yeah. She was in Watchmen. She was in
Designing Women.
I've been in like recently. She was in Fargo. She was in Legion. She's had a resurgence for people who don't know. But that's what I've been doing.
Yeah,
Find us here when we decide to stream, if and when we stream. Usually Saturdays. We should be doing it next week. You know, we'll see.
We're gonna try to get our just be prepared. We're gonna we got some stuff brewing. We'll let you know.
We always got stuff brewing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that Morbius money.
You and this Morbius money.
Hey man, all that money and that's the best they could have done?
I mean, did you see the movie?
I didn't have to.
So you don't even know.
The director spoiled it on Twitter.
You know, it might be good.
It ain't.
I mean, it's not.
It's
but,
not.
You know.
Do you want a better chicken sandwich on that?
I won't. I think you owe me a chicken sandwich.
I owe you too, but now I should be. Yeah, I owe you too. I should have bet you about this text message. Damn, I forgot. Because you were dead wrong on this.
Yeah, I was. I was. I mean, wait a minute. No, I wasn't.
No,
I don't remember that.
Yes, you
didn't happen. So anyway, find us here, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, Twitter.
We'll do a Moon Knight
Instagram.
review after it's done.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Leroy has decided. That's when we'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, we can't just review episode 3.
I mean, I don't know. Did you ever put those other 2 things up we did?
Nope. Can't find the card.
I don't even know what were they? Doesn't matter because we ain't did them.
Book of Boba Fett, where I trashed it.
Okay, and it was something
Yeah.
else. It was something else. I don't know. All right.
Yeah, it was Book of Boba Fett, because I was like, man, this is hot garbage.
There we go.
And it really sucked because I just got finished reading The War of the Bounty Hunters, and I was like, this is the Boba that should have been on this TV show, not that one. Because that story, Book of Boba Fett, was pretty good, was not good, but The War of the Bounty Hunters, which tells the story of how Han Solo and Carbonite got stolen from Boba, they had to hunt it back down. That was a good story.
All right. We out, y'all.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Next week.